Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of my Stardust reaction videos. This month being February, I decided to do a collection of some of my more romantic movies. Admittedly, I didn't have a lot of them, so some of the movies here on this video are kind of barely fitting the criteria of romantic date movie, so to speak. Still, hope you guys like them, hope you enjoy watching my reactions. I'll see you at the end. I really don't know what much to say about this movie. My wife got us to watch it as sort of like an 80s throwback. So for Way Back Wednesday, I figured I'd talk about it, and it's just strange. I mean, I've seen some strange independent films and stuff, but this is a mainstream movie with Malcolm McDowell and John Hurt from Home Alone, and it's up there on the weird factor. It's just out there. I mean, it's a head trip. This film is by no means perfect. It's got lots of flaws, but I firmly believe it's one of the most underrated films of Robin Williams' career. His performance from beginning to end is funny and beautiful and dramatic. I teared up towards the end of watching this. I haven't seen it so long, and to be honest, it's got such a great message, which is to say, live your life every day, striving to be the best and most you can possibly be, and more. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. So this is another movie that my wife's been trying to get me to watch for years, and we finally found it on YouTube, took the time to watch it, and I don't know if it's because the movie wasn't any good to begin with, or it just hadn't aged very well, but I didn't enjoy it, other than, there's a few laughs, and George Hamilton's really good, but as far as this movie's concerned in general, I think I'd rather just watch Leslie Nielsen in Dracula Dead and loving it, so... Hey, thanks to Team Stardust for taking my suggestion about The Princess Bride for a movie based on a book. As you can see, I got my 25th anniversary copy of the book right here, complete with my Frodo Lives bookmark inside. And as you can see from where it's marked, that's all I've ever read of it. It's a difficult read. I'm not a big avid reader, but this is absolutely one of my favorite movies from my childhood and continues to be one of my favorite films of all time, and probably always will be. It's a great film. All right, so my wife and I just got out of seeing Downton Abbey. We were enormous fans of the show, even though it's absolutely nothing like what I thought I would be interested in. It really does feel like it's just a continuation of the characters from the series. It's fantastic. Maggie Smith is phenomenal, as always. What'd you think, Amy?
I thought it was really good. I will watch it again.
Yeah, if we could, we'd come back tomorrow and see it again.
But it's smart.
Way Back Wednesday time, and I thought I'd talk about this movie. It's one of my childhood favorites. It's still one of my favorites of all time. It's a beautiful film. I really feel like this movie did what Dark Crystal should have done, which is create this wonderful world of fantastic creatures and scenery, and just let that be the backdrop for the storyline and the characters. I could have done without so many of David Bowie's crotch shots, and something else about this movie that I loved. I can't quite put my finger on it. So, in honor of James Gunn being rehired, I thought I'd revisit one of his old works. This movie was Troma's answer to the Shakespeare phase of the 90s. James Gunn co-wrote it, and Lloyd Kaufman directed it, but aside from some of the dialogue from the play, that's where the similarities end. It's a bunch of gratuitous violence, sex, blood, gore, and a bunch of really raunchy humor that just makes this movie an overall really fun time. It's a guilty pleasure for me. It's a stupid film, but I love it. So I'm a theater geek, 3 years in high school, 1 year in college, so I'm very familiar with this play, and I just caught it on TV for a rewatch recently, so it's kind of funny that, we got it here for Cinema Club. It honestly holds up really well. It's still just as good today as it was back then. The cinematography, the acting, the music, the choreography, everything about it, for all intents and purposes, this is as close to a perfect film as you could have gotten. Great movie. Okay, so I have to mention this movie with the 4-year anniversary of Robin Williams passing, and this movie is one of my personal favorites as well as my wife's. We both love this movie so much. I don't know what it is. It's not one of his best movies in his career, but whether it's the wife being a painter, whether it's the almost Shakespearean style of the storytelling, I don't know. But it is just a beautiful, beautiful film and really illustrates so perfectly how much movies can be their own work of art. So I intended to do this as a Throwback Thursday review yesterday, but it's been such a crazy last couple days, which is actually why I'm doing this review. My wife and I just got out of the hospital. She had surgery, and while we were there, we caught this movie on TV. It's a cheesy, corny romance movie, sappy love story, but we watched it when we were still dating and caught it on TV again, and it still brings us to tears. It's a wonderful film. So you see what I'm talking about. Some of those movies aren't exactly what I would consider ideal first date movies, but they all kind of had that romantic theme behind them. They're all about people doing things for love. Although I still say Cat People is a really, really weird movie. And I know Love at First Bite has grown into this, enormous cult classic, and a lot of people love it, and I can appreciate that. It just wasn't exactly my thing. Like I said, I don't know if it hasn't aged well or if it just wasn't a good movie to begin with for me, but there it is.
There it is.
And of course, some of the movies I talked about on here are some of my absolute favorites. Princess Bride being one of them, What Dreams May Come being another. Even though What Dreams May Come was very underappreciated by a lot of people and not very successful compared to some of Robin Williams' other movies. And Princess Bride wasn't exactly either. It was a box office failure when it first came out and became this enormous cult classic years later on down the line as people saw it on VHS, and then it became just a family favorite, beloved by millions and millions of people, to the point that Cary Elwes is still to this day convinced that his epitaph on his headstone is going to read, As You Wish. If you haven't read the book As You Wish by Cary Elwes and you love Princess Bride as much as I do, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic book, all about some of the behind-the-scenes stories of Cary Elwes when he was making the film. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys like movies and TV shows as much as I do, then absolutely consider getting the Stardust app. It's a fantastic community full of people that love movies and love TV shows and discussing them and sharing their opinions about them. Just a great community full of film lovers and TV lovers like myself. And if you do happen to get it, absolutely feel free to follow my profile on there. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon to the side of that to be notified whenever I have new content coming out. I got a whole bunch of ideas and a whole bunch of videos that I plan to do in the future. Some more art school videos. Definitely going to keep up the Stardust reaction videos, and possibly even doing some movie reviews of my own. I've got some ideas that I'm working out, trying to get that squared away. I'm even working on starting pre-production for another short film, so you never know when that's going to happen. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next month with some more Stardust reaction videos.